Hey everyone, this is Chris with StacksBasecamp.com. First of all, I wanted to thank you for watching this video. If you didn't notice, I have a brand new setup. I've spent a lot of time and effort getting this to look how I want it to look, and honestly, it's not 100% perfect yet, but I think it's a pretty decent setup for right now. As time goes on and I learn more and more and more about making videos like this, I'll improve myself, and I hope that you'll, be along for the journey. So anyway, today I wanted to go over a new set of stacks by our good friend over at StacksAppStacks.com, Scott Williams. So Scott consistently just tops himself stack after stack after stack, and this one is no exception. The stacks that we're going to review today is called StacksReviews. It is a set of 5 different stacks, and it does kind of what the name of the stack implies. It is a set of stacks for getting a review system on your website. Now, there are a lot of other review systems out there, and I've tried a couple, but to be honest, this one is extremely easy to use and set up, and it's basically as customizable as F6, Foundation 6, and Total CMS can allow for. In fact, what's really cool about the review system is it will allow you to add a review stack to individual blog posts so that you can have an average rating for each blog post. Now, a simple, implementation of that would be a store or a simple blog. So you'll be able to now have a blog post and then allow a user to add their own review with their name, their picture, a company, email, and some input from them about what they think about that blog post, that store item, whatever it is you want. So that's pretty powerful. It's really great. It does averages. It allows you to actually customize the look and feel. You can use your own emoji. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So this is going to be a 2-part video, well, 2 videos for this, because the first one is going to be introducing you to the review stack, and the second video is going to be me actually taking the review stacks and adding them to my Stacks Guru website. I've already added it to the Stacks Basecamp site just to kind of get a feel for it, but we're going to add it to the Stacks Guru site so that you guys can see how it can be, 1, added, the setup and everything, but 2, how you can customize the look and feel of the stacks to get the exact review layout that you want. All right, so let's just get in there and get it done, okay? Let's go. Okay, so right now we are looking at the Stacks Basecamp website. So the review stack, let me just kind of show you what it can do. So actually I have it on here. You can see this little 0. That is the Stacks reviews or the stack reviews average, okay? But I mean, I don't have it very many or any at all, really. I just have the one test that I've actually done, just to make sure that it was working properly. But if you go to the store and you check out my Caisson project, you see how it has this 5-star, well, 5 campfire, 5 campfire review, and it has the 1, which means that it's 1 review. And if I actually click on this to view the item, you'll see that it's, shows it here, and I can actually add a review. So here is the review add panel. So I can put my name in there. I can put an email. I can, select the number of campfires and then add a comment. And so these are all fields that, I've set up to be displayed. There's also a company field. You can also do hidden fields, which I'll get into in just a little bit. So yeah, so you can just quickly add a review and it will show up here. And then, I'm sorry, it'll add it to this once you either approve it, or if you set it to automatically submit, then it will show up as 2 campfires, 3 campfires, on and on and on, and it will also do an average. So down here, you can see latest reviews. So here is the review that I submitted, and yeah, you can set it up to look like however you want. This is just done with Foundation 6 Stacks, and there you go. So let's move over to Stacks and check out, how we actually get this thing going. So I have the StacksReviews Stacks up here right now. And by the way, again, this is from our good buddy over at StacksAppStacks.com, Scott Williams. He, again, does really amazing things. So, we have a StacksReviews admin, we have a StacksReviews config, a StacksReviews create, a StacksReviews display, and a StacksReviews display reviews average. So let's go ahead and kind of show you I guess a common setup for this. I have over here a reviews page. Okay, so this is going to be something that is front facing. It's going to be so that your users can go to, and really all I have on here is what are people saying. Just you can have it say whatever you want, but there you go. And then down here in the actual layout, you'll see that I have just a simple container, and it's inside of the StacksReviews display swatch. Okay, so you put this inside here, and it kind of acts like a feeds or a total CMS blog list, in that you build out your layout, and then depending on however many numbers across. Right now it's set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really can't imagine you're going to want to go more than 5 across, just because normal review systems, they don't exactly do that. So there you go. But to get into the settings, we have display the rating, display the name, display the avatar, all those things. Those are kind of I guess arbitrary. I just leave them on because I'm doing it through the macros. So if you see these macros, you might be familiar with them if you're a Total CMS blog list user. In Total CMS blog list, it's 2 curly brackets on either side, whereas here he's using the 1 curly bracket. So for this layout, I have the columns pro with one of the columns for the picture, which, by the way, the macro for that is avatar. So it's a curly brace, avatar curly brace, and that's a warehoused image. And then down here I have the name, the rating, and comment. I mean, it really couldn't be any simpler than that. So you can use headers, like I'm using a text field for the comment. It's pretty awesome. So back up to the settings, we also have timestamp or sort order by timestamp ascending, descending, rating high to low, and rating low to high. And then you have limit. So right now it is set to a -1 means infinite, or all the ratings essentially. But if you were to put that to 3, 4, 5, it will only limit the display to that many. And then you can say display all reviews and ratings. So what this does is this will aggregate all the different ratings from the different rating stacks, and I'll get into that. I know that may sound a little confusing, but I think you'll understand once we're done. I hope you do, at least. So anyway, so this is the StacksReviews display. Okay, now, and I'm kind of working backwards here. We'll get to the config, which the config, like honestly, I haven't seen something so simple to configure. It's ridiculous. So the next thing is going to be the admin page. So this is the page that obviously you want to lock down. I'm using Page Safe by Weaverspace, and it's my go-to page locker thingy. And so on here I have a Stacks Reviews admin stack, and over here we have. I mean, there aren't really many settings. They're just things you would just leave alone, but the ID, name, avatar, on and on and on. And then over here I have this page, which I have a page safe stack on, and it has the Stacks Reviews config. Okay, so the Stacks Review config is where you're probably going to do the most work within the stacks themselves, because this is where you can set, turn on notifications. And if you have notifications turned on, what's the email subject? What's the email body? What's the email from? The from name, the to address, and then you have the SMTP settings, so it can actually send the email. And then you have logging. Scott loves his logging little checkbox, and it's very handy. I've had to use it several times just in troubleshooting some bugs. But Scott is good about squishing those. So anyway, so we have just these settings right here, and the thing is, and we'll show you I'll show you when I do when I add this to the Stacks Guru site in the next video. But basically you just publish this page, and then you visit the page once, and that's it. You just have to visit the page. Once you visit the page, if you wanted to, you could just delete this page or set it to draft up here, and set to draft, and then never think about it again, right? Unless obviously you want to change any of this information, then you have to publish the page again, and then visit the page again, and then once again you can set it to draft or delete it. So okay, so let's go and see what this actually looks like in the back end. So we got what the reviews actually look like. If we come up here and do a new thing, let's see, reviews, and then admin. I'm going to do the reviews view page first. So this is the reviews view page for you as an admin. Every time a new review comes through, you'll get this nice, grid-looking sheet, and you'll be able to delete, draft, and publish. And right now I've set everything to come in as draft, okay? Once I'm, comfortable with the review, or what, just to make sure it's actually legit, then I will hit publish, and then it will actually appear on the page, and, whatever. It has your emoji. It's really cool. You can actually set your own emoji, and I'll show you that in a bit. But so the hidden fields, just real quick, these are pretty handy. So this particular review set of stacks is dedicated to my store. Okay, I have a completely separate one for the blog, and I'll show you just how easy that is to get going, because again, this thing is dead simple. So the hidden field one that I'm using is for the product name, because I want to know which product this review is for. If I didn't have this, then it would just be a general, hey, we like StacksBasecamp.com. I mean, that's kind of useless information. I want to get some nitty-gritty details. So that's what you can use the hidden fields for. They don't show up on the form for when people fill it out, which is great. And yeah, so let me show you in Stacks what the where the the actual emoji thing comes into play. So if I go over to the store view page, okay, so this is how you set the emoji. So if I scroll down and I see now I have my layout, right? If I click on the Stacks Review Add button, or Stacks Reviews Create button, which by the way is using the Foundation 6 button class, so you can use swatches to style this to look however you want. In fact, I will show you, which one is it? This one. So the default look is just that, right? And so I use swatches to make it look like that. So the Stacks Review Create button has these settings. Show the name, show the avatar. I turned off company just because I didn't want it. Show email, and then set the status to either published or draft. And then you can set your emoji here. Okay, it's really easy. So find an emoji you like, and then use the hex code for it. And I'll have a link down in the description of the video to a couple of sites that I think are pretty good for finding this. W3 is one of them, and I found another one. I just gotta remember where I found it. But then, so for hidden field 1, you'll see that I have blog permalink. Well, that blog permalink actually equates to the name of the product. So if you look up here, the pretty URL that I have turned on is set to KSON, or at least the name of this item in the blog list is KSON, and so I have KSON up here, and that will show here under hidden fields. So I can know when a review comes in what it was for. All right. Let's see. So then over here I have next to it, if we look at this setup, I have, the reviews here with the add review here, and I have the, number of, and then I can specify what I want. This could be stars, this could be tacos, like in AppSumo. It can be whatever you want. And so over here I have my 2-column with my Stacks Review Create button next to the Stacks Reviews display average, and I have total suffix is going to be the campfires. So I can change that to whatever I want, and it will, display there. So since I'm, Stacks Base Camp and I have this, camping theme going on, I decided to go with campfires. So this, if you look, there is this thing called the page ID. Okay, now this is probably the most complicated thing in the entire set of stacks, just because this is the way that you will be able to distinguish between different blog lists, okay, or at least blog IDs. Now then, normally, let's just say that you have a company, and you don't want specific things rated per se. You just want overall ratings for your company, for your service, whatever it is. You normally would just leave this ID blank. Anywhere you see this ID, this page ID, just leave it blank. The only time that you really need to use this is for Total CMS blog lists, okay? And so right now, the blog ID, or the ID for this, is going to be the page for the actual blog post page. All right. So if I look at this page, it is going to be stacksbasecamp.com/store/ and then the permalink. In this case, it's KSON. So in Stacks, over here, I have the full URL to store, and then I put in the macro for the blog post page, which is going to be the permalink. Okay, and so if I were to create a review here, let's actually do this. I'll go over to home, and I'll just click on Starlight. Okay, and I'll say, so I have 0 campfires. I'll say add review. And I will say this is for Kaylee, my cat. And Kaylee's email is kaylee@stacksreviews StacksBaseCamp.com. It really isn't, but you know, whatever. And let's say Kaylee didn't really like the Starlight project. She found it too difficult to use. I didn't like this at all. Why not? I mean, not everybody's going to like my stuff, right? All right, so I say submit review. Okay? Now, the review has been submitted, and it's going to go, I'm going to get an email saying, hey, someone submitted a review, and I just got it. And then if I come back to the reviews page and I hit refresh, look at that. Now, I didn't upload an image for Kaylee, but I could have. It would have shown there. So right now, Kaylee's is in draft, okay? So I'm going to say publish, and now it's at published. And so I'm going to come back here, I'm going to refresh this, and look at that. I have a 2 campfire review from Kaylee, and if I scroll down to latest reviews, here's Kaylee's review. She gave me 2 campfires, and it's what she said. Let's see, moving on. Oh, and let me show you another place where the ID comes into play. Okay, so right now we are in the blog post page, or blog post, okay? And so if I come down to where the reviews are, which is right here, and I look at the reviews, this Stacks Review Display Stack, you'll see because it's inside of the blog post, it just knows that this review comes from that permalink, that ID, right? Now if I go into the store and I go down to where the blog lists are for the store, and I look at the Stacks Review Display Average stack, it has an ID. And the ID is going to be the exact same thing, the link or the URL, but this time the permalink is the macro for the blog list. Okay? So before it was that percent blog permalink parentheses and then percent. Now it's the 2 curly braces with the permalink in the center, or in between them. So that's how this blog list knows which review to show. And if we go over here and I go to my store and we view the store items, see how Kson has just 1. And if I scroll down to Starlight with the VibraCard Pro and SiteLock, it has 1. So they are separate. So yeah, this is a really, really powerful set of stacks. So, okay, but it gets better, right? So now, let's go to my blog, okay? If I go to the blog, you'll see that I have, there's a 0 here and a 0 here because I haven't done anything. I haven't added anything. But if I go to the actual post, I have an add review button. So if I click on add reviews, I guess I gotta fix the Z index on that. I'll do that later, but you get the idea. So I can add the review here, and it will actually go and be associated with that blog post. And so the same deal. I don't have to do any more config, I don't have to do anything with the reviews. I just go over to the blog, and down here I have my blog list, and I have right here the Stacks Review Display Average stack, and over here, instead of it being store, it is now blog, because my blog URL is stacksbasecamp.com/blog/the permalink. So it knows, and I have this using total CMS blog list checkbox done, so that it knows that this is being used in a blog list, as opposed to coming over here to the blog post page. I have it over here. I know I'm using shrink to fit content. And so I have right here on the blog post page, I have this macro for the permalink with blog as the folder in the URL. So, oh yeah, and I turned off using Total CMS blog list because this is not a blog list. This is a post page. That actually bit me, and it took me a minute to figure out what I was doing wrong, why I couldn't see the average on this page, and that's because it is not a blog list. It is a blog post. Let my mistakes, be your time saver. And then, this average all ratings thing, that is for if you have your reviews and you want to show all the reviews, you can come in here and say display all reviews/ratings for the list. And right now I have it set to basically infinite everything, show everything, but I could put in a Stacks review display, up here, and I can say average all ratings. So all the ratings from blog and store will be averaged, which is pretty awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that I didn't bounce around too much. It's it's a little complicated, when you have 5 different stacks, to go over, but really the setup is pretty simple. And in the next video that I make, I'm going to show you guys just how simple that is. And that's it. So that is the Stacks Reviews set of stacks by StacksAppStacks.com. I love this set of stacks. It's really cool. It's something that I know a lot of people have been wanting and needing, and now we have it. At the time of making this video, they are not, officially released. So I don't know when Scott is planning on doing so, but once they are, get them because it's fantastic. I'm looking forward to adding it to the StacksGuru.com site and just seeing how people react to it, how they use it, and yeah, it's fun. It's actually fun. Ratings are fun again, I guess. So anyway, guys, thank you, and I will see y'all on the community site. See you in the Hangouts, and yeah, bye.